Hi, Michelle Grigsby from Kansas City. I want to really quickly give you some points on how to overcome fears because I've got one that I'm working on, and I want to talk about how I was able to overcome a fear, and I would love to know if there's anything that you're afraid of and how you might have overcome it. And I'm going to give you 4 things for you to do to overcome a fear. First of all, did you know that we are born with 2 fears inside of us already? Fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. So what happens is if there's a big loud pop, instantly people jump, and what happens is that our nervous system is affected before the sound reaches our brain, and it's just an instinctual thing. And so I don't know why, but those are the 2 fears that we're born with, and everything else, the fear of being in an elevator, fear of flying, fear of speaking, fear of heights, it's all learned, however you say it, but it's stuff that we acquire. Like, there's people that are absolutely petrified of the fear of flying, where there's other people who love it. Now, I'm going to use that as an example because I used to be absolutely petrified of flying, and my mom worked for the TWA credit union, and when my parents were divorced, I would fly all the time to Colorado to visit my dad, and I hated it. I remember my palms getting clammy, and I would just visualize the worst thing that could happen. And that is the worst thing that you can do is by focusing on the negative, okay? Now, first thing you do to overcome a fear is you acknowledge it. Acknowledge that you have that fear. The second thing that you want to do is you want to avoid thinking negative thoughts about it, something that's going to fester or amplify that fear. You want to avoid reading articles, you want to avoid seeing things on TV, watching YouTube videos, anything that has to do with a crash, okay, for example. You want to avoid that. And the third thing you want to do is, talk to somebody about it. Talk to an authority about it. Acknowledge it and talk to somebody about it. When I was 10 years ago, I actually met a fellow, and he was a pilot, and this was whenever I still had a small fear of flying. And when I talked to him about, he was a pilot, and after being with him, for a few months, I had absolutely no fear of flying because thanks to him, I knew that what thorough checklist they go through. I know how safe it actually is to fly, and I now am familiar, because I've done so much flying now, that I'm familiar with the feelings of turbulence, and I'm familiar with the sounds, and it's something I actually enjoy now. I absolutely love to fly because I know that, first of all, a pilot is going to know if there's going to be turbulence. They actually warn us in advance. But, did you know that an airplane can do a full circle in the middle of a storm? You'd be amazed what an airplane can do. An airplane is extremely safe, and there are millions of takeoffs and landings every day that we don't even hear about. So I am absolutely not afraid of flying at all. But one thing that I am a little bit afraid of still is a very common one, and that's the fear of public speaking. And I think why, the first thing I'm doing is I'm acknowledging it by getting started and acknowledging it. But another thing is, why is that I am afraid of public speaking? I honestly think that maybe it's because I'm afraid that I'll come across as stupid. I'm afraid people are going to judge me. And one thing, I read an article, which is really good, that talked about if you're afraid of public speaking, what you're doing is you're not being fair to yourself, because you've got these people that are going to listen to you, and you've got their energy, and you have a choice what to do with that energy. And if you're afraid that you're going to say the wrong thing, you're not going to stay focused. Focus on taking that energy and utilizing that to share your message. And what I'm doing, though, to start my journey on public speaking, because my dream, believe it or not, is to be an inspirational speaker. And what I'm starting to do is these videos. I'm doing these videos. I'm putting myself out there. And I know that there's times where I sound like a dingbat and I sound stupid, but that's what I'm going to have to go through is acknowledge that. So I just want to let you know you were meant for greatness. We were both meant for greatness. I'm on a movement. So if you want to join me, this is an amazing journey that I'm on. I have a link that's either right below or next to this video. Click on it, get some more information, and if it resonates with you, jump on board with me. It's a fun ride. Talk to you later.